Good morning, everybody. I was gonna do some work today in the garage, but I'm probably still drunk from last night, so I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll see you in a few hours. Right, welcome back. It is now a few hours later, and even though I don't feel any better, I don't think I'm drunk anymore. I think all the alcohol evaporated from my system, which is always a good thing when you're working in the garage. Yeah, let's crack on with the paint for the Virago. See what happens. Right, so on the last episode I asked you all whether you want to see the whole painting process or whether you want to wait till the end, you know, when I show you, I unveil the bike as it is, you know, with everything finished. And the majority, I would say 90% of you want to see the whole thing, the whole painting process, the idea of the paint and the pattern scheme I've got in my head, which is great. I'm gonna do that. A handful of you said they want to wait until the bike is ready to see it. Well, for those of you guys, I'm not going to spoil it just yet. I'm going to put the little counter, and from that point, if you're watching the video, yeah, spoiler alert, you'll see what main colors of the bike is going to be and how it's going to look like, more or less. But from that point onwards, I'll show you what I've got right now and how I'm going to deal with it to get it to the final stage, step by step. So I've got 4 pieces to paint. Basically, the front mudguard, which I fabricated myself. It's primed and pretty much ready. There's a tiny bit of imperfection over here, you can see. I still need to sand it flat. Other than that, it's pretty good. It's ready to be painted, the base color. And then is the tailpiece. Tailpiece is not going to be white. It's one of the guide coats I used. I like to use lighter guide coat as a last resort, because the top color you see it's kind of light as well. So yeah, but as far as sanding it down and it comes to joining them joints over here, the welds over here and imperfections that were here, that's all done. It took a lot of work, this one, but it's nearly there. I just need to fine sand it, and then I can apply the base color on it. And what color is it going to be? Well, I'll show you in the next piece. Right, so for the main color of the bike, I've decided to be not black, because everybody does black bikes, you know, and I'm sick of it. I love black bikes, don't get me wrong, they look mean, they look fantastic, but they're fucking everywhere. So I went kind of the other direction, hopefully a bit of a classic look. And the base color I chose for the bike is cream. It's actually a Ford Sierra kind of beige, they call it. So I got a mix like that. I really like that shade. It's not gonna be just cream. I got some pattern going on, but that will be later. Well, anyway, that's the front fairing, the Cathy Racer bikini fairing. If you remember, stole it off a Harley Davidson and I adopted to fit to my bike. So yeah, that is the main color I'm going for. That's the base coat. This is pretty much ready. I need to sand it down yet again to apply different patterns to it and something else I had in mind. But as far as painting, you know, this piece for the base color is ready. And last but not least, the petrol tank. There it is. Again, cream, beige, you name it. Base coat is all done. All the hard work on the petrol tank has been done. You know, it's smooth as you like it. As I don't see any imperfections anywhere on the petrol tank whatsoever. Yes, I need to sand it down. Yes, I need to apply extra coats of paint on it, different color and different pattern. But majority of that is going to be this color. You know, I've got some, you know, patterns going here on the bottom and pattern going on top a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Hoping to keep it classy, to keep it clean, and I really like that shade. It goes really well with black, you know, and the rest of the bike, the frame and the engine is black, and that's gonna give a really good contrast towards it. I like that kind of classy look. What do you think? Enough talking, let's get busy. I started with this little mudguard. Shouldn't be too difficult to get it back to perfect standard, near enough. And then the tailpiece. Once I paint them in a base coat, we're ready to rock. Right, when it comes to sanding this down, I'm not going to teach you how to sag eggs because you've seen me do it a number of times. Basically, I'm using an 800 wet sandpaper here. I'm going to wet the surface as well. And what I'm looking for, it's imperfection like this. Don't know if you can see it over here. When the light catches that, it just kind of, there's a little bump over here. Rest of the piece is pretty good because I've been working on it for a couple of days now. But that's one thing over here that's showing. When it's a bit more flat surface, I use cork sanding block, which is harder. For that purpose, I'm going to use a flat sponge, kind of high density sponge. So you have a lot of give, but it also keeps the flat surface when it needs to be, which is perfect for what I'm going here. And just like this, ever so gently, just work on it until that little imperfection here disappears. We're going to expose the previous coat. We may expose a bit of steel probably from it, but that's not the end of the world because we can recoat it, so that's not an issue. It doesn't take much to get it to good standard. But as I said, you've seen me doing this before a number of times, so that's nothing new, just a quick reminder. And it's simple as that. I'm going to give it a good rinse. I'm going to dry it out, and we're ready to apply the final coat. And it's the same principle of that piece. 800 grit, wet. As I can see, it's pretty much perfect with that coat. It's only 2 coats of white, but it's not showing me any imperfections anywhere. I'm very happy with that. So all I need to do with this is sand it down ever so gently to promote the adhesion of a top coat of a base color I'm doing. Simple as that. Again, if I can, I'm trying to sand it down in all kind of directions. So I'm going long ways, as you can see, then I'm going across one way and the other way, and I'm going sideways as well, just to avoid creating patterns in the paint, in the paint really, that could be visible at some point later on. So if I do all the directions, long ways, sideways, across, you know, combined with some light circular motions, it should give the best result possible to provide a smooth surface for the next paint to come. I know it's not hugely important at this stage because I'm not working out the imperfections, I'm just smoothing down the paint. However, it's still a good practice to do it this way. We're nearly done here with sanding both the tailpiece and the mudguard, the front mudguard. Before, however, I lay the top coat on the top surface, I want to tidy up the underneath because it's a bit ugly here. Same here and on the tailpiece as well. If you remember, it was painted black nicely before I put it back for a spin, you know, first time, all those many months ago. Yeah. But through the course of painting and rubbing down and everything, it just got destroyed again. So I need to give it a fresh coat of black underneath, thick coat to get it nicely protected. Everything then covered in 2K clear. But I want to do this first before I start applying top coats on it. So I'm going to crack on with that now. Fast forward 2 days from the last clip, and I've got all pieces painted in base color. That including the front mudguard and the tailpiece. And the tailpiece is pretty much perfect. I mean, there is nothing I'm unhappy about it. It is bang on, you know, even without polishing. This is the finish I got, which is pretty much, well, I can't see any imperfections here. It's pretty much amazing. I'm very, very happy with the result. It took a good few days of working, body work in that piece, but yeah, it shows right here. I'm very happy with that. So now this is all perfect. I need to sand it down again because I want to lay a bit of a pattern on it, a bit of a design, and obviously preparing it for a next 2 stages, because I got one pattern, one color, another special thing coming on top of it and then clear coat, but to do so I need to take the shine away and just matte it down a little bit. Let me show you how I do it. I've already done that process on the petrol tank and the tail, the nose cone. And what I'm going to use for this exercise a grey Scotch pad, the Scotch-Brite scuffing equipment. Why grey? Because grey is the least abrasive one, is the most gentle one. And why I like using this? The elements like here, like a corner over here, it's not quite a corner, it's not exactly a round shape. You can see it here when the light's hitting it. It is very easy to go through the paint all the way to the primer with a sandpaper. If you've got soft sanding blocks, you can get away with it. With the hard sanding blocks, it's okay on the flat surface like here, but you go around the corner and that just takes all the paint off. And I've done this mistake a number of times before, where with, put it gently, where with these things it's very difficult to go through the paint to the primer. Obviously I'm going to use it wet, not dry, and I found them very good for that purpose. As I said, I'm only taking away the shine, the very top layer of it, to get it ready for the next 2-3 paints, coat of paints. The pattern I want to lay down, the other thing, and then the clear coat on top of it, because I won't be sanding it down, and I can't be doing that on a shiny surface like this. So stop talking, let's get it done. So just like before, I'm using water with a dash of soap or a fairy liquid, and ever so gently go through it, just to take the top layer of paint off. Not even the top layer, it's taking the shine away, make it a bit more matte looking, you know. And any kind of surface like this, it will be much easier to promote adhesion for the next, whatever coming next, you know. Whether you're painting on top of that, whether you're clear coating that, whether you're airbrushing on top of it. I like to do this process. You get the same results with 1500 grit sandpaper, wet and dry. But I think this way is slightly easier, because it's a bit more foolproof. You know, you can't really go too deep with that, and it's not clogging either. I use it wet, as I said, plenty of water. And this is the process I've done on petrol tank and the nose cone, nose fairing as well. So that's the tail piece just before I'm gonna sand it down. You can see it's nicely and shiny over here. Bit of water splatter over there, but you can see it's bang on. And this is the finish we've got directly after I tack it with my Scotch pad. As you can see, all the shine is gone. It's got like a dull, if camera focus, there we go. It is like a dull satin-like shine to it, which is perfect. Just what I wanted. After all, we're just creating a microscopic scratches in paint, so the other layer of paint, whether that's clear coat or other color, it's got some kind of grooves there, so you can adhere better basically to it. That's all it is. Okay, so I've got all 4 pieces ready, painted, ready for the next stage. But at this point, I'm probably going to wrap this video over here, give you a short little update, see what's happening, see what main color of the bike is going to be like, and we're going to start laying the pattern on the next episode, I guess. We're very close to the completion of this project, but I don't want to rush it to the point that I'm going to develop some kind of chemical reaction between the paints over here and they will ruin the job and delay it for another week or so. I want to avoid that. The paint is still very fresh. I only sprayed it, them 2 pieces, yesterday or the day before, and today by sanding it down again I reactivated that chemical process, the curing process. So I want to leave it, you know, another day, maybe 2 if I can, I've got enough stuff to keep me busy in between, but I don't want to rush it, you know, jump on it just now, spray another paint on it and then see if it's reacting, you know, because it's still curing in the background. Done this before and I cried like a baby. So yeah, no rushing it. I'm gonna wrap it now and we're gonna start the masking process for a simple pattern I have in my head on the next episode. Guys, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, drop me comments below. Tell me what you think of my choice of color for this little bike. That's right over here. Can you see it? You probably can. I think it's a classy look so far. I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I'm gonna keep it simple. Hopefully you like it. If you don't, let me know in the comments below and we'll see what happens. Guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your kind comments and your support. Until next time, have a beer, rock hard, and I'll see you very soon.